From iconic Pokemon characters to similar cultural and agricultural references, this video has it all. The Sinnoh region reveals a strong resemblance to the true North, strong and free country we all know and love. That's right, I'm looking at you, Canada.
Really, nigga? Stupid motherfucker!
Yo, what is up, beauties? It is your boy, the one and only, the MikeMash, and I just wanted to wish you all a very happy new year. I hope you guys got to spend time with your family and friends, as last year was surely and without a doubt a crazy action-packed year, especially for some of us. As for my New Year's resolutions, I hope to be a lot more consistent with my uploading schedule. But anyways, I'ma leave that all aside. Let's get to the main reason you clicked on this video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how the Sinnoh region is actually based off the country Canada and reveals some of its similarities to prove my point. Now before you go ahead and dislike this video, please let me explain.
No! 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 No!
Yo, chill for just a second. I know this sounds far-fetched right now, but just hear me out first and then make your opinion. But right now, you may be impressed yourself with what I have to say. So just put the gun away. Anyways, first of all, not all of the regions have to be specifically accurate in order for it to be based off a certain region or area. In fact, if we were to analyze this geographically, then without a doubt, this region is based off the Japanese island Hokkaido. And there are certainly a lot of references and evidence to support it, with the 3 Sinnoh lakes resembling the 3 lakes in Hokkaido, as well as Mountain Coronet paralleling with the Izo mountain range. There is no doubt that there's a striking similarity here. However, to be honest with you guys, as a young kid not knowing any better, I honestly thought that the Sinnoh region was partially related to Canada. And you know what? I don't see why it can't be both. I mean, sure, there's the obvious things that stand against my point. However, I will be doing my best to prove this point and just try to show you how my point is somewhat valid. So just sit back and relax, and if you want to see more videos, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel and become a member of the MikeMash army. Alright, so let's just get right into this video. First off, I'm going to try and break down the geographic barrier here. So first of all, here's the map of Canada. Now when you compare this to the Sinnoh region, it's fair to say that I'm far off. But when you take a look at this image here, now this tells a whole different story here. And let me explain. Alright, so the first area on the map is a picture of Iron Island, which in this case is going to resemble the Yukon territories. The Yukon territory is known for its gold production during the gold rush. And as you may already know, the Iron Island was once a prosperous ore mine but was shut down after the ore reserves dried up. So I guess you can say that there is a strong resemblance between the ore-rich island and the gold-rich Yukon territories. Now the second area on the map, as you can see, are the 2 Sinnoh islands, Full Moon Island and New Moon Island, home to Darkrai and Cresselia. These areas are supposed to resemble Banks Islands and Victoria Island, which are both located in the upper Nunavut region. Now you might not see it yet, but there is a river in Victoria Islands otherwise known as the River of Dreams, and geographically it kind of makes sense based on its location, and I will show you later on. The third area on the map shows Snow Point City and the surrounding area. This is basically Nunavut and the Northwest Territories, and to be honest, I wouldn't really argue against that. In the fourth area on this map, we have here the Battle Zone. That, my friends, is Greenland. Now I know this point may seem a little bit far-fetched, especially given that there's so much to do in the Battle Zone area, in this island in general, and the fact that it seems kind of luxurious and it's kind of like a reward for beating the game. And Greenland isn't exactly the place you go to when you think of Canada, or as a rewarding place. But anyways, let me just explain this to you. think about how different the battle zone is compared to the rest of the region. Now keep that thought, and let's look at Greenland for a second. It's actually not part of Canada. It's actually a territory of Denmark. Now notice how the Pokemon you find on this island wouldn't be normally found in anywhere else in the Sinnoh region. So in a way, it almost seems a little bit out of its region, which is kind of what Greenland is essentially. It's not really part of Canada, even though it's close to Canada and it would appear to be part of Canada, but really it's not. The 5th area is based mostly on Ontario and Manitoba. Note the rivers running through it towards Region 6. The 6th area is, of course, the Great Lakes. That part that juts out into the ocean is very similar to the one in Ontario that kind of spears between Huron and Erie. The 7th area is the Rocky Mountains, otherwise known as Mount Coronet. Many diverse animals live in the Rocky Mountains, much like in Mount Coronet, and it practically crosses the entire region, much like it does in Canada. The 8th area is basically British Columbia, and Alberta kind of being shoved to the left of the Rockies. Orberg City parallels Drumheller, a town known for its dinosaurs. Canalav City is Victoria. Note how you have to get there by water. Jubilife City either represents Vancouver or Edmonton, both have sort of a western feel. Note how there's also a division between the west coast and the east coast. Something familiar? The 9th area is Quebec. If you look at the map here, the mountain there sort of parallels the Laurentians, located in Quebec. The 10th area is surprisingly similar to the Hudson's Bay. Literally. The 11th area, the Elite Four Island, is supposed to resemble Newfoundland. I guess you can say that location-wise it makes sense. Or perhaps that elite players like Sidney Crosby came out of this island. No, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking. But no, I could say that this passes as Newfoundland. There's quite a bit of a beautiful scenery when you're on the top of the Pokemon League. And I guess you can say that if you go to Newfoundland, it's pretty beautiful there, actually. I would recommend you visit it. The 12th area on the map, otherwise known as Sunny Shore City, is Halifax. It's on the coast, and you want to know something really crazy? You know that island with the lighthouse that you can only access by the solar roads? Well, look at the coast of Halifax, with a convenient little chunk of land off the coast. Oh, and look at that in the background. It's a lighthouse! And finally, the 13th area is, I guess, a little bit of a shout out to Prince Edward Island. Not really, as it's kind of like the most forgotten island in Canada, and to be fair, it doesn't really have a place in the Sinnoh region. I'll just be straight up honest. Then again, same goes to Saskatchewan and Labrador, or even New Brunswick. They just don't really fit too well with the stereotype, and I think they don't really have too big of a presence. Maybe Saskatchewan and Salacion town with the farmers and stuff, but there isn't much of an interior plains presence here, so I'm just gonna admit that completely. Anyways, now that we finally broke the geographic barrier,
Really, nigga?
let's look at the other cultural similarities. First off, the most obvious stereotype that the northern Sinnoh resembles is the fact that Canada is cold as hell. Not to mention that in Pokemon Platinum, you're literally wearing a sweater the whole damn time. Also, not to mention the reference to all of the mining, and it having loads of minerals. Doesn't that sound a little bit familiar to Canada? Plus, I don't know if you noticed the same thing as me, but don't the honey trees resemble a significance? Similarly to the way Canadians dig maple syrup. I mean, look at the honey, man. They're everywhere in this region, and the thing is, it's region exclusive. I mean, how Canadian does that get? Are they literally trying to mock how we love maple syrup? Plus, there's the occasional thing where you can catch Fantina, the gym leader, speaking with a French accent legitimately in the anime. You can't even try to tell me that there isn't a coincidence at this point. And finally, the pinnacle of this whole thing, the one Pokemon that every Sinnoh fan can come to imagine, love him or hate him, it's the one and only Bibarel. And unless you aren't exactly familiar with what I'm trying to say, the beaver is Canada's national animal. Not the polar bear, not the caribou, not the moose, and not even the Canada goose. It's the beaver. And whether you like it or not, I'm sure we all have our memories with this thing. And all those encounters with those goddamn beetles. Literally everywhere. Not to mention that Bibarel is an excellent HM slave, which all correlates with the productive beaver that all Canadians love. It comes without a doubt that this Pokemon is very iconic to the region, just like the beaver is iconic to Canada. And if you still want to say that the Sinnoh region doesn't have any similarities to Canada, then you might just be delusional, my friend. And that's where I'm going to end off today's video. And if you like the theory and you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Also, be sure to share this video with all your friends or people who love Pokemon. And finally, before I end off this video, I want to give credit to the Cerebi forum user for introducing the geographical evidence to back up this theory. It was a big part of the theory, and it really helped to back up and support my claim and theory. The link to this forum will be down in the description down below. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. This has been the MikeMash, and I'm signing out. To 2017, stay classy everybody. Peace!